How long do you have to live with your spouse before he or she can file for you for the green card? Such a good question. There is no magic number. USCIS is not, the officer is not going to sit there and say to you, well, you guys have lived together for 13 months and therefore I'm going to approve the case. No, it doesn't work that way. They can query how long you've lived together within the context of you not having enough evidence. For instance, if you had lived together for 13 months, well, what do you have to show for it? And sometimes couples go before USCIS and say things like, oh, we've been together for 5 years. And most recently, of course, we've been married for like the last 5 months or 6 months, but we've been together all these years. And so then the government says, well, where's the proof of that? Now, before you jump in and say, well, what? We have to show proof of the fact that we were together for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, however long our dating life was like. No, you don't necessarily have to show proof of all of that. But what you can do is show a picture or two from those early days. And then, modern times, so to speak, the time that you're now in, right? Show the progression. It just goes to telling the story. You don't have to submit proof like you guys were living together as a unmarried couple for years and here's how you split the bills and this and that. No, they're not requiring that level of evidence, but at least show a picture or two from when you guys were younger together. If you're going to claim that, well, we've been together all these years, well, where's the proof of that? And then also for couples who do say things like, well, we've been married for like 5 years or 3 years. Well, yes, then they will hold you to that burden, that higher standard, and say, okay, give us some evidence of that. Show us those leases over the years or those bank statements or show us more. You can't just come before us and say, well, you've been married for 3 years or 5 years, yet you only have 2 or 3 pictures. You don't even have any evidence of you guys bringing your resources together and those kinds of things. It looks very suspicious to them at that point. Like, what kind of marriage really was this? Was this a marriage of convenience? Like you guys got married 3 years ago, 5 years ago, yet never really lived together, never really commingled, never really entered into a genuine relationship because maybe the spouse, maybe she, the U.S. citizen wife, was bitter about why you entered into this relationship to begin with. Maybe she was suspicious that maybe you got together with her because you wanted a green card. So you know what she then ends up doing? She's going to drag this relationship on and on and on before she says, okay, I'll file for you. Or it's a situation where the spouse, the U.S. citizen spouse, wasn't in it for the right reasons. And they were demanding things from you and they were trying to extort money out of you and all of that. And by the way, we help clients in those very situations. We do VAWA cases for clients who are abused by U.S. citizens who really control them and to complete control of the relationship and try to extort them, financial abuse and all of that. So if you've been in a situation like that, definitely reach out to our firm so that we could speak with you about potentially a VAWA case if you're eligible for the domestic violence pathway to a green card. But going back to the point about if you've been married for 3 or 5 years, that you don't really have any evidence to show that timeline of being together, that is a flag for the government, and they will drill down and they will want to know, well, why don't you have anything else to show us today? There is no magic number. No, you don't have to live together for X number of years before you can file your case. You could even have lived together for just a couple of months and the case can still be approved, so long as you go all the way back again to always what I say. I always say this: your story matters to immigration, and you tell that story about how you met, how the relationship progressed, and where things are today, your daily routine and life together today. That's what they care the most about. And if you're successful at proving those 3 major phases in your relationship, then you're golden. You'll get your green card. And so I hope this helps. If it did, share it with others and jump onto my email list, subscribe, go back up to my bio and subscribe to our email list so that you'll get more content from us each week through our #1 immigration newsletter. See you guys later.